Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, Nigeria's Minister of Defense says efforts to rescue 110 abducted Dapchi schoolgirls continues. Says security operatives are closing in on the abductors. Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives insist on appropriate response to President Buhari's veto of Electoral Amendment Bill. Dismiss reports of disagreement between them on the matter. 4 months after emerging winner in the Anambra state governorship elections, Governor Willie Obiano takes oath of office for his second term. And diplomatic row over the nerve agent attack on an ex-spy deepens as Russia sets to expel 23 British diplomats in retaliation over UK's expulsion of 23 Russian envoys.
On business news tonight, S&P Global Ratings affirms long and short-term sovereign credit ratings of Nigeria at BB with stable outlook.
On sports news tonight, it's the end of the road for MFM FC in the CAF Champions League following a 6-0 second leg loss to MC Alger of Algeria.
We begin tonight with the assurance from the Minister of Defense that the military is closing in on the abductors of the 110 Dapchi schoolgirls kidnapped from their hostel on February the 19th. The Minister of Defense, Mansur Ali, explains that efforts are in top gear to rescue all the girls and ensure their return to their parents. He's speaking to our correspondent, Gloria Omezweke, on our program, Dateline Abuja.
We have dispatched all the surveillance devices we have in terms of air, human resource intelligence, and other force that needed to be in place by all possible means, and we have made sure that all this needed is being done to see that these girls are being found out wherever they are.
How much hope is there?
Well, I cannot determine it's an operation, but as soon as possible, and I'm sure with the latest intelligence information we are getting, we shall get them soonest.
Is there a timeline for the safe return of these girls?
Well, this type of issues have no timeline, and even if it has, we only give it to the forces. Okay, by social means, we want you to give us an output of what you've been doing. That one is timeline, but for this kind of issues, you cannot fix it and say, no, you must bring them by social date. No,
so
but you can only...
That in the next 12 months, in the next 6 months,
I'm not talking...
next 3 months, it's not possible.
It can be earlier, maybe a week. It can be 2 weeks, but we are on it. And I'm telling you with all sense of sincerity, we are closing on them.
Still in the line of security, police authorities in Benue and Nasarawa State have been holding talks with concerned groups on how to ensure that normalcy returns to communities affected by herdsmen and farmers' crisis in 2 states. The Benue State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Fatai Osheni, says that they are also working at ensuring that the killings are stopped and everyone cohabits without rancor. He was speaking at the end of a closed-door meeting with the national leadership of the members of the Miyati Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital.
The New Year Day killing in Benue appears to be the height of the herdsmen and farmers' crisis in Nigeria. The wanton destruction of properties, loss of lives, and events that happened thereafter have made many to question the ability of security agencies to address this challenge.
We should pray for their soul.
Notwithstanding, efforts have continued to ensure that peace returns to the troubled communities and for farmers and herdsmen to coexist without hampering each other's business. The Commissioner of Police in Benue State, Fatai Owosheni, and heads of other security agencies in the state have been speaking on parties involved in the crisis. This time, they meet with the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association to discuss how peace can return to the state, but behind closed doors.
We believe that as we move on, as we make progress, rather than coming to Lafia every time, we'll be able, because we need to build confidence. There's this issue of mistrust that, if we go to Makurdi, if they see any Fulani person, they want to mob the person or whatever. So it's a gradual process. We want to use this as a step towards ensuring that everybody will be free to move around, do his business in accordance with the law.
One major issue that has been at the heart of the violence in Benue is the introduction of the anti-open grazing law, which prohibits herders from grazing their cattle in the open. After this meeting, the leadership of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria give words of assurance to work closely with police authorities to ensure that peace returns to the troubled communities.
Now, there is a committee we establish. We give him our members who participate in the committee. And then, inshallah, we are going to enlighten our people to see that we cooperate with the security and the government to see that peace return.
Peace and security are the only demands from the people of Benue and other states where farmers and herdsmen have clashed. However, there is hope that recent efforts by government and security agencies may finally help put an end to this crisis.
In the meantime, residents of 5 communities in Dekina local government area of Kogi State have abandoned their homes following Wednesday's attack by herdsmen that resulted in the killing of several persons. The residents of one of the communities who narrowly escaped being killed told our correspondent that hundreds of herdsmen invaded his village, which is the boundary community between Dekina and Bas local government areas of Kogi State. He said the herdsmen came to his village with a complaint that their cows were missing and immediately started attacking and killing people. He said his father and mother were killed in the attack, with many houses burnt, while many residents fled to neighboring towns for safety. In the meantime, the state governor Yaya Bello has paid a visit to the area and promised to investigate the cause of the attacks and find a lasting solution. Describing the attacks as work of armed bandits, the governor asked the security agents drafted to the communities to perform their responsibility of protecting lives and property. Well, the National Assembly seems not to be backing down on its resolve to push its amendment of the Electoral Act to a logical conclusion. This came to the fore today as both the Senate and the House of Representatives dismissed reports in National Daily insinuation a disagreement between the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, and the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara, over how both chambers intend to react to the withholding of assents on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill by President Muhammadu Buhari. In a statement signed by the spokesmen of both Dr. Saraki and Honorable Dogara, the lawmakers insist that their move is not personal, but aimed at deepening democracy in the country. The statement adds, quote, "The Senate President and the Speaker, as heads of the 2 chambers of the National Assembly and representing the views of their colleagues, will want everybody to know that they are on the same page on what is the appropriate reaction to the President's withholding of assents on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. The leadership of the 2 chambers constantly hold discussions and are in agreement on what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and why it must be done," end of quote. While asking the public to disregard the insinuations contained in the report, the lawmakers insist that the National Assembly is on firm constitutional and legal grounds to amend the law. It is fresh 4 years of leadership for Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano as he is sworn in for a second term in office after a landslide victory in the November 18th, 2017 governorship election. Residents of Anambra State, supporters of the re-elected governor and party faithfuls all gathered at the Alex Ekweme Square in Awka, where the oath taken was administered on the governor.
Dr. Alex Ekweme Square, Awka, adorned with all the needed trappings for the swearing-in ceremony of Governor Willie Obiano for a second term in office.
The trailblazing governor-elect of Anambra State.
The ceremony brings together captains of industry, party loyalists, traditional rulers, the clergy, and many others under one umbrella to witness the takeoff of another 4-year governorship tenure in the state. The chairman of the inauguration committee, Mr. Ifeanyi Bezi, gives a recap of Governor Obiano's first 4 years in office as the governor of Anambra State and says he has kept to his words to complete, inaugurate, and commence new projects.
He has kept his word on agriculture, education, health, trade and commerce, etc. He has kept his word to the civil servant. He has touched the 179 communities with the innovative 20 million naira Choose Your Project initiative, which is double on completion. He has kept his word with faith-based organizations by continuing government support for mission schools.
And then the swearing-in ceremony begins. The Deputy Governor, Dr. Nkem Okeke, takes his oath of office.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mount the saluting dials.
Then Governor Willie Obiano is accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Ebele Obiano. In his inaugural speech, Governor Obiano expresses gratitude to the people of Anambra State for their support in his first 4 years and recalls his vision of creating a socially stable state where wealth-creating opportunities will be found and developed.
Never before has our beloved state witnessed the electoral history that you created on November the 18th, 2017. And today, I stand on the crest of your love to declare a new season of excellence for our beloved state, Anambra. In the Anambra, our dear state is on a journey of self-awakening and discovery. We are reaching the stars with the moon beneath our feet. And I am most grateful to you for choosing me and Nkem Okeke to lead you on this journey.
The high point of the occasion is the colorful parade by the Nigeria police and different performances by Nigerian artists.
In the meantime, the federal government says it is committed to providing adequate water supply to all Nigerians for all-round economic development across the country. The Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, said this while flagging off the construction of a 3.7 billion naira water project in Jigawa State. The project, which is in partnership with the Jigawa State government, is to ensure provision of potable water to Kazaure Township and its environs.
We are here to flag off the recently approved Kazaure Water Supply Project. The Federal Executive Council approved this project sometime in January. The total cost of the project is 3.7 billion naira. It's going to be a 2-year project. We hope to finish it in 24 months. But the project is in 2 components. The first component which the federal government is financing is the source, that is what we call intake, the water treatment plant, the transmission line to Kazaure, and then a big storage reservoir in Kazaure town. And then the state government is going to take over the aspect of the distribution.
Our commitment is to handle the reticulation of the piping inside the distribution network in town. That is, they will do the water treatment plant, take it to the distribution tank, and we'll do the reticulation inside the town, and then we'll take up the maintenance and day-to-day running of the water treatment plant after they've handed over to us. We have not finished scoping out the size of the reticulation yet. So when we do that in the next 2-3 months, you know, or whatever the amount, even if it is up to the amount that it costs to do the water treatment plant, the state government has committed to do it.
In part 2, after the break, we turn our attention to the Olusosun dump site fire and the environmental challenge it poses. the city of Lagos. Please stay with us.